All right, hello Ace family. Today I want to talk about the interior stain section. This is going to be geared toward a lot of furniture, a lot of DIY stuff, and I think it's going to go pretty quick. A lot of these products are just different sizes, different colors, but I want to point it out, make sure you're familiar with it. So, with staining, there are kind of three main steps that you might take. So there's going to be the prep, there's going to be the actual stain, then there's going to be the clear coat part of it. Now, every good project, if you do the prep right, it makes everything else much easier. And that starts with sandpaper. A few things that if you're talking to a customer on stain, I want to make sure that you think about the sandpaper section, what we might have in there that could help them between sanding sponges or tack cloths, or in the paint thinner section where we have liquid sandpaper in there, that if you have fine little nooks that you can't really sand too well, that might be helpful. But really, it's pretty simple for the most part, so we can get started. So Minwax initially recommends a pre-stain, a wood conditioner, as they call it. We've got it over here. There's a water base and an oil base, and that's going to help the stain be uniform. Just make sure you have a good coat, essentially. So not everybody will use that, but it is a good starting point. The next step is going to be choosing a color. Now, we have a lot of colors here that are, a lot of new colors, a lot of stuff that trends coming in and then trends going out. But in these yellow cans, they are only a stain. And what I mean when I say that is, there's some other cans that are kind of a 2-in-1, and I'll go over that with you. So these yellow cans, they're only a stain, and right here we do have some washes, but we do have these multicolored cans here. We can actually tint some of these. We've got some brochures, or we could look it up online on the tintable colors that are accessible with those. It's right here on the middle POP signage here. And anyway, there's a light base and a neutral base so that we can get multiple color options. So as far as stain goes, we've got just regular colors. I would call that normal. We've got the tintable stuff if you want something kind of crazy, or a color that's a little more out there, which is mimicked by everything on top. And then on this side we have the poly shades, is what Minwax calls them. So they're a 2-in-1, and with the normal stain, I say normal, but the yellow Minwax here, the process is you lay that on, and then you're going to do a clear polyacrylic, a clear urethane. That's like a protective coat to help finish it over the top of it. Now, the alternative to that is doing these cans that are a 2-in-1. It has the stain and the poly in one, so you're doing it once. It helps finish up your project quicker and gets it dried. And that's when you're looking at these cans, you'll see that we have the same, like a classic oak in a satin, and then a classic oak in a gloss. And that's because they're the same color. It's just a different sheen, if you will, going on top of it. There's some little ones, and then where I just touched on the clear poly going over it, we may as well do that. We've got an oil base and then a water base on the clear polyacrylic, polyurethane. That's generally what customers are going to ask for. We've got some bigger bottles down below, and that's going to be our clear coat that goes over it, protects it, make sure they have a nice durable finish for years to come on the project. So going back to these yellow cans, just want to summarize real fast. We've got our pre-stain, and then you could do your wood finishes. On the regular stain, you could do your 2-in-1, but you do your regular stain, and then the poly or the 2-in-1. Now the hardest thing with stain is that different types of wood will absorb stain differently, and we're here to be helpful. We're here to go the extra mile and help the customer in any way we can. I've done this on several occasions. Just told the customer, look, okay, if you can bring in a little piece of wood, if you're building something, or you happen to have the same type of wood, we don't mind taking 3 or 4 cans on the bigger ones, and we can pop them open and put a little dab, like a 25-cent piece or 50-cent piece on it, just so they can kind of see the color and make sure most folks have a very good idea of what color they're looking for, and if we can help them a little bit to have that color, have that piece of wood, so that they can kind of try it out before they do the whole thing and have them not be happy with it. Because again, a cherry wood is going to be different from maple, it's going to be different than pine, and it's not quite like paint where we can get the color perfect, we'll put it that way. So anyway, we do have some sprays on top. There's some specialty products where you see them like I want to say like bars or maybe nicer restaurants where you have that really thick, just clear coating. That's what this stuff is, over tables or something. And anyway, kind of a cool to get that look. Then we have some other just specialty products on top here, something like teak oil or tongue finishing oil, wood polish and conditioner. We do have that too. So just don't forget, we've got our sandpaper that might have good recommendations. We've got some tape that they might need. We've got some cabinet knobs and poles, liquid sandpaper, and of course maybe some brushes and some gloves that might help them complete their project, so that we can see them again, but hopefully for another one, because we did such a good job helping them the first time. So anyway, as always, let me know if you have any questions, and see you next time. All right, bonus content, bonus scene at the end. I forgot to go over the gel stain here, so that's my bad, that's on me. Gel stain is really apt. We get customers asking for it, and if someone wants gel stain, they generally will, but it is, just so you know, it's really well suited for vertical surfaces where this stuff is pretty watery. Having that gel in there being a little thicker helps with a purely vertical surface when you're talking about like a door or an armoire or something, some sort of a big area. So anyway, okay, that's all I have to add. Thank you.